Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and I caught a video that Joseph made over at Millis Tools where he highlighted this Wera screw holder that just slides right onto a traditional screwdriver, and I thought, that looks perfect. That looks like a great solution, so I thought I'd try it. And you can buy either one or you can buy a pair of them. They're not cheap. They're like 12 bucks or 20 bucks for two. But what this thing is a piece of plastic that slides over a screwdriver shaft and has this, fairly efficient kind of this clamping mechanism. So let me show you how this works and why it's so successful. I have got a couple of different size screws here. These are all Phillips screws, but in this case, this is designed basically for a pH1 or a pH2. You can, let me slide that down. So what I can do is put this on and slide this up right here and then back down to hold it to whatever that holding power is. And if I get it dialed in just right, it's actually pretty strong. Look at that. So that's enough to do something, and the way I can test that is grab a piece of wood here. I've got my traditional 2x4, and instead of using one of these existing holes, I'll just stick it right here in this barren real estate, and I can slam it in. It actually holds it tight enough, and I can screw this in and then pop it out. There it is. It's in there. You can see that. This is super handy, and it's a good solution. These Wera screw holders. This is there is a 1440 and a 1442, or you can buy the pair of them. I've got links below, and I'll link it to, if I can find it again, Joseph's video. He just mentions it in passing, like these are cool things, but they are really cool things. For instance, and this is what got me excited, I use a lot of cabinet screwdrivers here. Cabinet screwdriver is like a traditional screwdriver just with a long shaft, because you're usually going into the back of a cabinet, back of some install. And this particular version here, which is different than this, they're different colors. It has to do with a flexibility, as far as I can tell. This is a lot softer. This is for a smaller, I guess a smaller screw. Anyway, this one is the standard number 2. It's on there pretty tight. I mean, you can see I'm dangling this, holding onto it here. It's on there pretty snug. So I literally can slam that in. Here's a nice piece of blank real estate. I can stick that in way at the back of a cabinet or any wood product I'm trying to screw into, and I can push this really hard until it grabs, and then I can start screwing it in. But once you're in, I can pop it free. Look at that. That's in there solid, which is pretty cool for just such a simple device. As you can see, that's all it is. It's this plastic collar or this plastic rod cylinder thing with this plastic collar that allows you to set the position. So how does that work? Well, first of all, I'm going to compare it. This is a Blue Point here. In fact, if I go up to the, if you want to see that, what do we got? USA made Blue Point, this SSR2. This is what I had been using, and this is a way of grabbing the screw. What it does is you slide these collars up, because these are spring-loaded. You're probably quite familiar with them. And this is designed to stick deeply into a standard screw. Say like this Phillips here. As you can see, as I slide it back, they're spring-loaded, trying to expand, and they grab it. But it's very hard because this wobbles around. I can't really drive with this thing. What it allows me to do, if I slide this up, let it grab the screw. If I have an existing screw hole, I can get it started right there, and then it pops off, and then I can go at it with a regular screwdriver. Here's the smaller side. I've got a little tiny Phillips on there. Same thing. If there's an existing screw hole, I can get it started. This is about the extent. It's about to pop out. That's what happens. So it's not very tight. So that's what this does. That's what I've been using until now. But look at that thing. It's just a super simple design. You can slide it on everything. It does not work in my tests with slotted, however. If I try to do a slotted screwdriver or a slotted screw on here, in either one of these, you can kind of test out. What I end up with, let me slide that back, is that this doesn't stay centered enough. Let me line that up here, slide that forward. Here we go. Just like that. It's always off to the side or something. As soon as I try to turn it, it pops right out. So using an existing kind of, like this one, this is a great neck right here. You can see. So for slotted, this stuff still works where you use the heavier metal. I'm going to slide this up. You can see it expand. I'm going to slide that in and it grabs it. This is actually, oops, it actually holds it. Stout enough usually in the pull here that it's on there. And if I have an existing hole, I can easily drive a slotted in. But I don't do a lot of slotteds using something like this, because mostly it's an antique furniture refinishing and stuff. But for Phillips, especially cabinets, this is a winner. Look at that thing. There you go. So that's my Wera screw holding adapters that fit beautifully onto traditional Phillips and work like a charm. And with that, Doc out.